Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy Thursday. And if you're an NFL fan, it's NFL draft weekend. So hope everyone gets to enjoy the NFL draft. So I'll be watching. Got my Eagle shirt on. So see what my team does this week. But we're not talking any draft. I'm catching up with a great guest here that I had on the show maybe 4 or 5 months ago. So we're going to catch up on some things, golf, travel, lifestyle, all those things. So, but before we get started, before I bring her in, hit my music. Let's get it. All right. Once again, welcome to another great episode of the Real Deal Podcast. Happy Thursday, April 23rd. I'm your host, as always, Courtney Harding. Glad to be back with another incredible episode. You can follow the show on all the podcast platforms, whether it is Apple, Spotify, YouTube, BS3 Network, BS3TVLive.com, BS3 Network, Roku channel, wherever you consume podcasts, we're there. iHeartRadio, and like I said, all the podcast platforms. You can follow me on all the social media platforms. I'm all over Instagram, mostly Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok. So I got all of them. So you can hit me up there. You can follow the show on all those platforms as well. All right, let me bring in my returning podcast family guest, her second time on the show. Very excited to catch up with her. She has been traveling all over the place. I think she just did a post and said, where am I going to next? And traveling once again. So I'm glad to lock her down here and just to catch up and things like that. With spring here, summer months are coming up. So wanted to catch up with her. So welcome back to the show, Elizabeth Diane Veith. She's a golfer, content creator, like I said, travel. That does a little bit of everything. So, but can't wait to catch up with her. So, Elizabeth, welcome back to the show. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you being back on. I wanted to catch up with you. It was after the Masters. You were there. We're going to get into all of that experience. I know the last time we talked, you were saying last time you were on the show, you were saying how you wanted to try to get to the Masters. We talked about how hard it is and everything too to get there. So, but first, before we get on that, how are you doing since the last time we spoke, and how things are going with you?
Yeah, doing really well. I've been traveling like crazy, as you mentioned.
Yes.
Been everywhere and anywhere, including the Masters, which
Yeah.
was an amazing experience that we'll get into more here in a little bit.
Yes.
But no, it's been pretty awesome. So I've been doing really great.
Right, exactly. And as you said, you're getting those frequent flyer miles, so you're traveling everywhere. You posted today, I believe. It said this year's already been full of travel, and the next few weeks are slowing down. So basically, your second home at this point is just travel, airport and travel. So you just said you're very grateful for that. So I'm glad that we were able to do this, and I just wanted to catch up with you. So I'm glad to have you back on the podcast. So, but let's get into the Masters, and you were able to go and everything too. Talk about that experience and how it came about, and able to spend a few days at Masters weekend. You know, the most incredible golf tournament ever. So, yeah, talk about your experience there.
Yeah, so I have been very blessed. This is actually my fifth Masters that
Yes, I remember.
attended.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which is, I know, insane and mind blowing to everyone. Like, I just want to go once.
Yeah.
But this one was really, really special. I was able to actually get my father down there.
Yes.
That has been on my bucket list since 2019 when I went by myself. I was able to actually experience the Masters Monday at the Masters by myself in 2019 due to connections that I have in the golf world. And literally on that day, I said, I really want to bring my dad back here. I know he would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Not the biggest golfer, but he golfs. And he's a huge sports fan. So I knew that he would absolutely love it. So I had the opportunity to get him down there this year, which was really special. It was very last minute. I called him literally, I checked in for my flight and I called him within an hour of checking in and was like, "Hey dad, what are you doing tomorrow?" And he was like, "I'm working." And I'm like, "No, you're not. You're getting on a plane and going to the Masters with me." So that was really, really special, really, really cool.
Yeah.
Also, my husband was able to join us down there, which is also very special. He is blessed to be able to just walk right into the Masters with his PGA professional credentials. So
Yeah.
that was really cool. To have both of them there and to be able to spend the day with them was absolutely amazing. So I think 2026 might be one of my favorite Masters just because I was able to spend it both with them there that day.
Yeah.
The other thing that was really cool is I had an opportunity through my connections to go to Berkman's Place, which not a lot of people have been to, but it is the hospitality venue at the Masters. And they have 6 Michelin star restaurants within the actual space itself. You get access to the members shop, which you have a specific like special logo that you get. Yeah, I may or may not have bought everything that I could possibly buy.
Yes.
Not knowing when I might have an opportunity to get back there, but it was amazing. It was so cool to be able to experience that. I think the coolest part about the experience is they have 18 holes of greens that are mimicking the greens that the pros are playing on. So specific holes like 12, 13, and you actually get to putt on them. So
yeah,
that was the coolest experience for me because I was like, I get to putt on holy ground. Like, what is happening?
Yes.
Because, you know, Augusta is my heaven on earth. And it was so cool to be able to experience that. I will be honest with you, they were so much faster than I thought they were going to be. I was like, oh, this is an uphill putt. You know, I gotta really like get it there. And no, they were a lot faster.
Wow.
So kudos to the pros that were playing because they rolled those greens the exact same way that they did the greens that were on the course. And that was really eye-opening. I mean, I've been to Augusta, like I said, multiple times, and I've had that opportunity to see how hilly the course is. It doesn't look that hilly on TV. That's usually what you see from a comment standpoint of folks that have gone to the Masters. But actually putting on them, it was crazy. You see how much in control of every single putt these pros are. So that was really eye-opening to me, which I'm so blessed for that experience because I can say that I've actually putted and quote unquote played at Augusta, even though I haven't.
So you are a Augusta Masters golfer that was able to putt on the green. So yes, I would definitely take that. I mean, that's what I saw. Saw the pictures and saw some of your content there, and I was just blown away. You said it was special because you said you were able to take your father and your husband together. That had to have been, they said, such a special thing. I think the last time we actually you talked about that, wanting to bring your dad to Augusta National, and just like you said, last minute, and you're like, nope, you can't, nope, you're not working, you're getting on a plane and you're gonna make it here to Augusta National. Wow, congratulations first for him. Like you said, you've been there multiple times, and how has I know this one's, like you said, special. Is each time, I'm sure each time is the experience is different. Is it better each time? Like I said, this one was just more special because you said bringing your dad and your husband and being able to have that, and he said putting there also there as well. So I'm sure that was like a special time. But is each time different for you, or the experience? It's like, okay, I've been here once, I've been here multiple times. Is it the same or is it different?
Yeah, I would say it's different. So the first time I was by myself, number one.
Yeah,
I was
right.
so overwhelmed because I was like, this is the first time I'm seeing Augusta National. So you can actually see here what's framed behind me is my 2019 ticket for Monday and then my women's amateur ticket. So my first experience with Augusta National in regards to the golf course was the women's amateur. That was on Sunday. That was the final round, the first inaugural round. Where actually a Colorado girl won, which was amazing to see.
Yes.
So happy that it was, somebody from my state.
Yep.
So I got to experience that. But I walked into the gates by myself, had no idea what was happening. Didn't even have an idea about the gnome craze. Like that is the one gnome I do not have, and I'm like kicking myself for not buying one. Because we all know who won that year, so it's very hard
Yes.
to come by that gnome. But long story short, my first experience was so overwhelming, and just like that was the most overwhelming shopping experience that I've ever had in my life. By myself, trying to figure out what I wanted, what I needed, while people are just grabbing stuff.
Yeah.
So that one is always going to be special. But every single time I hit the grounds of Augusta National, I see something different. I experiencing something new. Like it's crazy. And I know the exact path. Like I could walk you through the exact path of what you need to go, where you need to be, what you're going to see along the way. And every single year, I feel like I'm experiencing something different.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like that's just absolutely insane. And you really do feel like you're a kid at Disney World. Every single night before I go to Augusta National, I'm like so excited. I'm so pumped. I really don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, you can't sleep the day before. Sure.
Yeah, no, you don't. You just don't. And I think that's what makes that place so special, is because there's been multiple courses that I've been to. There's been multiple PGA Tour events that I've been to, over and over again. And even though I've been there, 4 times before this year, my 5th time was still super special. And I saw things that I would have not seen. And like, you still get super giddy and super excited about it.
Right.
That's what makes the Masters such a big deal and such an amazing experience to go to, is because regardless of how many times you've been there, you still get that like giddiness and excited about it.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. And I almost had an opportunity. My wife, she was in a drawing for work. And they were drawing for people to, tickets to get to the Masters. So it was close, very close. So one of these days it's gonna now she doesn't like golf. She doesn't even I mean if she was able to go, that would have been me and her. I would have been very giddy for sure. So I'm such a fan. She's not a fan, I should say. She'll watch it, but not a big fan. But that would have, and I saw when I saw that you were there, and you said just the experience, that it was incredible. I was just watching it on Instagram, watching on TV for sure, the itself, but just watching everyone's content who was there, watching interviews. I did some shows, had some people that were already there. They were talking about it, and it's always incredible. That week, the leading up to it, that week in 2 weeks is just incredible. Just seeing all the content and all the storytelling, the interviews. It's just such an incredible experience to watch. And you said you've been on the ground, and plus with your connections with the people and everything too. That's just icing on the cake and for that. So congratulations on to being able to go and experience that too.
Yeah, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. And I know it's on everybody's bucket list, but I feel like it should be number 1 on everybody's bucket list.
Yes.
It definitely should be, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So you got to experience that. Let's talk about the Masters in itself. What'd you think of this year's Masters? Rory McIlroy pulls it off again. I don't know if, just talking with people, because it's so hard to go back to back at Augusta National. It hasn't been done since Tiger Woods back 24 years ago, something like that. 25 years ago. So now that Roy did it, and him going into that week, he just seemed like there was no pressure. He had got all that pressure off of him from winning it last year, completing his personal Grand Slam, and then able to come back. And he was the talk of the town. He was everything, he had his dinner. He was doing a lot of different things. He was there for 2 weeks. I know people were giving him some hard time there, being able to practice up, but he's been golfing there for a long time. So did he have a leg up? I mean, he's the champion, so he can do whatever he wants. He was the defending champion. So, but what do you think of the actual Masters 2026 in itself?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. Going into the week, I would have not picked Rory to go back.
I didn't either. Nope.
I actually changed it on Friday. we did a hot mic at the tournament that I was at, and they were like, "Who's gonna win?" And I was like, "Rory." Like
Yeah.
I just picked him because I felt like it was like, well, he's playing really great. But no, I do think he had an advantage for sure coming into the course, being able to play it the couple weeks leading into it. I mean, as he mentioned, he would drop his daughter off at school in the morning, go, fly his private jet, go play Augusta, then fly home, and then be able to do dinner with her,
Yep.
his wife at the end of the day. Which I think there's a huge advantage, being at Augusta multiple times, you can actually see like how it would be an advantage to play there, to be able to walk there the week before, to be able to read those greens multiple times. So I do think he had an advantage, which, that's up for debate. People are like, oh, that's unfair. But I mean, he won it last year. So
Yeah.
Take advantage of what you can. But no, I think it was absolutely amazing. I was really pulling for Cam Young. I like him as a golfer in general.
Yeah.
I like human as well. So I was really pulling for him, but I'm excited that Rory went back to back because that's a historical moment that I don't know that we're going to be able to witness, in our lifetime again. So it was really cool to see him do that and not have that pressure, as you mentioned. I think there was so much pressure on him last year to complete the Grand Slam. And since he did it, I mean, even him flying in his parents and him saying, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it again. Like, it was so special to be able to watch him do that while his parents were there and actually have a historic moment, like I said, that I don't know that we're going to be able to see again.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to see again. I didn't have him winning either, but then when he had a 6-shot lead leading into Saturday, I believe, it was and then, yes, Cam Young was able to take that lead. The leaderboard was switching especially Sunday. Sunday was amazing because there was so many different, leaderboards was changing. Scotty was coming, Scotty Scheffler, the best player in the world. He's creeping and he's just, I think he was bogey free on Sunday, I believe, something like that. So yeah, it was it was just amazing to see so many different players and the golfers, I should say, being able to have a chance to win. And Roy, he just kind of just weathered the storm. And you said it wasn't no pressure. So even if he would have lost, it would have been like, okay, he's got his win. He did get the Masters last year, but people say, well, he blew that 6-shot lead. Oh, yeah, but he was able to weather that storm. He was always in the mix and everything. I had Xander win. That's the pick I had. Xander was coming in great form leading into that. He ended up getting a top 10. So wasn't too mad about that at all. So but Roy was just, again, as you said, maybe the advantage he had. But he's played Augusta National all these years, and we talked about this before, being at Augusta and knowing, playing that and having, good results. You usually could try to figure it out, and the weather was perfect for it, So yeah, it was just good. It was great to see. It was a great Masters. I had to admit, for sure.
It was, for sure. Yeah, the weather, I think, played a lot into it.
Yes.
I think this is the first Masters that in maybe 10 years that there's been no rain.
Yes. Yep.
So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, you did the Masters. Where else have you been over these last couple of months so far? And what you got upcoming in the next, May, June? I mean, the next few months is spring and then heading into the summer.
Yeah, I've been a lot of different places. It's been very fun. I've had some work trips and then some fun golf trips.
Yes.
So that same week that I went to the Masters, I actually was in West Palm, Florida for a charity tournament, which was amazing. Super fun.
Yeah.
It was scramble style, so no pressure at all. It was awesome to be out there with a bunch of different folks. I have had a couple trips that I was actually supposed to be on. Like today, I was supposed to be in Arizona. That didn't happen due to some work commitments. So there's been a couple trips, unfortunately, that I have had to back out of just due to some work, commitments that I've been juggling. But next week I might be in Florida with the PGA Tour. The week after that, I will be here back in Denver on a work trip, and then in Kansas City for a work trip. May is going to be a little insane. I've got a couple other charity events that I might be playing in. Might be in Hawaii as well, which is super fun.
Yes.
And then June, I might be in Charlotte for another charity event. Maybe back in Myrtle Beach in June. So there's a lot of fun things on the runway.
Yeah.
It's awesome, work wise and then fun wise. But yeah, I'm not joking when I posted that. I think I will be living at DIA. I have 15 flights so far. I think it's over 18,000 miles.
Wow.
Underneath my belt. I've already got status with United. So it's been really crazy. But I'm very blessed to be able to do, what I can do, be able to have these fun trips, have these work trips as well. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very fun summer. I've got a lot of tournaments here too in Colorado that I'll be playing in June, some charity events and then some competitive events. So it's going to be a really fun summer.
Yeah, for sure. That's a lot of travel, but as you said, you're blessed to do it for work and also having fun with that, and able to play in some of these charity events, work events, things like that. Which I know how much you love. You love golf, love playing, and love talking about it, travel, things like that. But that Hawaii, I mean, yeah, Hawaii.
I know.
I was there last year. We went on our anniversary last year. And my wife was just talking about, we need to go. I want to go back. I said, me too, and everything too. So we might plan something maybe in the next few years to try to go back again. But yeah, but it seems like a lot of fun. Will you be? You didn't say, but will you be at the PGA Championship this year?
So at the moment, I will not be. However,
Okay.
that might change.
Yeah.
So I know it's at Aronimink, which we have a good friend that actually works at Aronimink, and it has been hyping up the course. It looks like it's absolutely in stunning shape as well.
Yes.
As I would love to be able to go to a PGA Championship. That is one event, as well as the US Open, that I don't have in my book. I've been in the Masters so many times, and I'm kind of like, well, do I switch to going to all these other major events?
Right.
What they're about. So I still might be, but at the moment, no, I unfortunately won't be able to get out there. I know that it is right in your neck of the woods. So are you able to get out there?
I'm thinking I've been holding off. I've been pulling off. I've been saying, hey, because I want to go like at least one day. I'm thinking Monday just to be able to get out there, and tickets are still available. And I'm like, I just gotta pull, just do it and get out there on Monday and get it. And because I just saw there was a contest that came up on Instagram, try to get 2 free tickets. So I'm like, okay, let me just go do that first, see how that goes. If not, I'm just gonna do it. Because we were talking before, and I said, yes, I need to just go, because it'll be my first ever golf tournament. And why not the PGA Championship, a major, and be on the grounds and see the practice rounds and whatever else is going on. I've been very excited just to see, because I didn't get a chance to go to the Truist last year. I would have probably went there, but like I said, went to Hawaii. So I said, well, PGA Championship's coming the next year. I'll just wait till next year. So it is getting close. So I'm like, I got about 3 weeks. So it's a decision I definitely want to go. So just gotta get the tickets and do it. So yeah.
You do. And having your first golf event be a golf major is like crazy.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, what? But no, you really do experience an elevated level of not only hospitality, but like what they offer on the grounds. Even if you get a general admissions ticket, I would highly, highly recommend that you go, even if it's for like one afternoon. So yeah, I don't know what you're waiting for. That's my recommendation. Pull the trigger.
Yes, I got to pull the trigger. I got to pull it. Yes, and I'm not waiting for anything. It's just I just haven't done it. I keep looking at it. I'm like, why might not just do it? I actually might do it today since we're talking about it.
You should.
Actually, do it today and just say, hey, and I'll message you and say, hey, I think I got my ticket. So here it is. I'm going on, because I can get the day off. I mean, that'd be no issue there. And I think it's only like a half hour away, if that, 20 minutes away. And they have a shuttle. You could parking and a shuttle right to the grounds, and he said there's the hospitality. I've been reading up on it and everything too, so nothing's really holding me back. Just got to do it. So I'll let you know for sure once if I get that ticket, and be able to just go even one day. I just want to experience that, and it's a major. You said it's a major, so that's the biggest thing. And who knows when it's going to come back to Philadelphia. They always have tournaments here, but you just never know. Might never get that opportunity again. So yeah, I just think I just got to just get in and do it. So for
I
sure.
agree. And this one, I think, I mean, other than the Masters, because it's probably never going to change as my favorite major.
Yes.
This one is probably, I would say, my second major. And granted, I have never been on site for one of them.
Mm,
But I think the coolest thing is that you have PGA professionals that are able to qualify for it and play in it.
right.
So,
Yep.
even though they're pros and they're scratch golfers, I mean, it really does help, like, being able to see them play and being able to be like, okay, if a scratch golfer was up against these pros, what would this look like?
Yeah.
So that's why I really love the PGA Championship, is because it's that opportunity for those PGA professionals to be able to play alongside the PGA Tour pros. And you
Right.
kind of see, like, okay, these are guys that go out every single week and do it for their job. And these are guys that actually teach it. And yes, they still work in the golf industry, but they might not have an opportunity to golf every single week like the tour pros do. And how do they match up?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, yeah, I think you. I mean, it didn't take much convincing, but I think you might have convinced me just to get it. So yeah, but like I said, I'll let you know for sure on that. But I'm excited to see. And you was at the PGA show. I don't know if we had a chance to talk about that and your experience there. Um, Talk a little bit about what that experience was about, the PGA show, um and that it seemed that was amazing. That was in Orlando. That was at the beginning of the year. That started your travel, I'm sure, beginning of the year. But talk about your experience at the PGA show, which was seemed like it was like a it was a big convention. It had content creators. There was a fashion show. Yeah, it was a lot of different things. So talk about your experience at the PGA show.
Yeah. So that was actually my second trip of the year, which is crazy to say that that was
Mm,
my second
mm,
trip.
yeah,
It was literally in the middle of
yeah,
January. Um,
right.
but no, it was absolutely amazing. So I think this was my fourth PGA show,
Yeah,
and it was awesome. It was really, really cool. I was only there for a day, unfortunately, because of work.
yep.
As you know, I balance my full time job with my content creation. So I was only there literally on the floor for Thursday, and it was very fast and furious. I was meeting with companies, saying hi to folks that I have known in the influencer space and the golf space, and then I hopped on a plane and actually flew to California for work. So it was very, very, very condensed. But no, the PGA show is amazing. It's where really all of the industry golf professionals get together.
Yeah,
I had an amazing opportunity to meet some companies that I've been working with, that I've been doing influencing and marketing for, to new companies where it was like, hey, we need to work together. So I really use it as a networking opportunity to get to
right.
know brands that are up and coming in the golf space, established brands, kind of check out what is coming in their new lines. That's really the coolest thing about the PGA show, is you get a sneak peek into what's upcoming for spring and summer and fall of the next year, where everybody else, as the public, like, that's rolled out to them as it comes.
Yeah.
um, but it was really, really, it was an amazing opportunity. I definitely did not want to get on my flight to um, San Francisco. I was like, can I please just stay here, because
Yeah.
I'm meeting so many great people. I'm working with so many different great companies. And so, yeah, that was a very hard flight to get on, but
I bet.
it was amazing that I was able just to go for a day. And the day before was, of course, demo day, which is super fun. They closed down. There's a circle driving range. And so they close it down, and you're able to actually hit the equipment that's coming up that year. So it's really cool.
Oh, yeah. It looked cool, and I saw that. The funny thing, I was in Orlando maybe a couple weeks before, um, with my wife. When she had a work trip, I went with her, and I did work there too, because brought my laptop to work, but got just to enjoy Orlando. It was nice weather that time, and then I saw 2 weeks later, like, "Oh my goodness, I just missed the PGA show." It was like, "Oh, I could have just been there," and I had some free time. I would have just popped right in for that day if it was the same weekend, but we went the beginning of January. It was like the first week of January. But yeah, that seemed, yeah, I'm thinking about wanting to do that too. So that's another maybe a bucket list or a trip, because we love Orlando, so it's a couple hours from here. So it's only 2 or 3 hours on a flight. So that might be another one too that was able to go to as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you do have to get all of the credentials. They've been really locking it
Yeah.
down too over the past couple of years, where they're like, we only want golf industry professionals to be there. But as long as you work in the golf space or have connections there is a way to
Yeah.
get into it, which is super fun. But yeah, it's an amazing experience. My one recommendation would be make sure you have comfy walking shoes, because you literally like 20,000 steps in one day, because it's the whole Orlando, Orange County convention center, literally from start to finish, and it's just full of booths. I mean, you name it, PXG, Titleist, all of the big names, and then some of the smaller names too have smaller booths. But you could literally spend 4 days there and not see every single vendor.
I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure there was a lot going on. It seemed like, but again, I love just seeing all the content, and as you said, it was the brands. There was a lot of different things happening. Like I said, fashion show. There was so much going on. It's like this seems like a lot of fun. It looked like it was like a Super Bowl media row. That's what it felt like. It was so many different things that was happening. They said clothing brands. You name it. If you're, like I said, golf professional, if you're into, said, if you love golf, that's a convention to go to. That it looked like everybody was there. And he said the networking, that's very important. Talk about the importance of that networking when you're trying to either, you said, not even just sell, your brand or anything like that, but just networking with other professionals and in the golf space.
Yeah, so I think it's super important. I'm a huge believer in it's who you know, not what you know,
Right.
regardless of the industry. And I would say that networking in that space is a really, really big advantage. So if you are even a small brand and you're just launching, being able to get to the show, being able to get some eyes on you of courses that are, purchasing the big names like Under Armour, Sunday Red, you name it, from a apparel standpoint, and you're this small company and they might buy one thing from you. That can, totally change your business trajectory. Just as well as the people that you meet. Like I said, it's, really important about who you know, not what you know.
Yep.
And even just being there in the area. I mean, I'm not going to fully give away all of our secrets, but if you want to go to the Hyatt that whole week, I mean, that's really where, if you're anybody and you're trying to meet somebody in the golf world, you are at the Hyatt bar. And even if you aren't at the show, even just sitting at that bar, being able to meet people, being able to mingle with them, being able to say hey, what do you do in the golf industry? Is super impactful, super important. So it's an amazing event just to really get everybody excited about the golf season, kick things off. A lot of companies launch new things during the show. So it's really awesome to see that. But especially for getting into the golf world or as a golf industry professional, you are able to network and pick people's brains on courses that might be a course like yours, or if you're an influencer, hey, what are you planning for this year? What events are you going to? So it is such a cool kickoff to the entire year.
Yeah, that's a great kickoff. Yeah, it's in January, and like you said, that's a big kickoff into the year for the year. So it seemed like a lot of fun, a lot of amazing time, and just like you said, the networking. We got a question here in the chat. Thanks for the question. It's in Sports Rush. It says, your favorite moment in your career so far?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I feel like I've had so many favorite moments.
Yeah, kind of talked about a few of them earlier with the Masters. Right.
I feel like, me attending the Masters might be, up there. So I would honestly say my favorite, if I had to pick one, my favorite moment so far from a career standpoint is the Masters in 2019. Even though I was by myself, I was able to experience, history being made with the Augusta National Women's Amateur being played. I got to see the final round of that. I got to experience Augusta National by myself, which a lot of people are like, wouldn't you want to experience with someone? And it's like, yes, but I think it was very unique for me to be there by myself, experiencing it just for me. My favorite section of Augusta National, which a lot of people have the same thing, is Amen Corner. So 11, 12, and 13. I put my chair right on 12, and I watched that final round pretty much the afternoon after I walked the course.
Yeah.
That was some of the coolest moments that I've had of just being able to like sit, soak it in, not have my phone, not have anybody that I'm talking to, and just be there by myself. So I would say that's probably the highlight so far.
Okay. Yeah. And with Augusta National, I think it's such a unique course and the history of that. But you said no phones, you're just in the present, and I think that's what makes the Masters so unique. It's so different. It's so historic because of that. It's like you have to be aware, alert, and all those things, and just be present of the what's going on. That's why it's so different from other tournaments and and other courses because of that. And I think I like that. I love that idea because you said you don't have your phone and you're basically detaching away from distractions. You're just there to watch the golf, the course in itself, and yeah, the amazing scenery and everything too. So I really like that. I wish that other sporting events and things like that could do that too, but that would be hard to do. But Augusta National, they can do it for sure.
Yes. No, I think that's the coolest thing. Like, I actually have made like a network too of talking to people at the Masters.
Yes.
It's crazy when you don't have your phone, how much willing you are like able to like chat with people if you're waiting in line and things like that. Which I think our society has, lost a little bit of that because we're so, focused on like replying to that text or like, getting back from a social media standpoint. So
Agreed.
it is a really cool experience. And I think it's a fun social experience because you're all in it together at the same time. But it has been crazy. I've actually had people, hand me their business cards. I'll give you an example. This past Masters, they didn't bring a camera because they didn't think they could have brought a camera. And I have like my like big camera, not with like a zoom, but it's like my big professional camera.
Yeah.
That I usually take with me. And they're like, can you please take a picture of us? It was two couples. I got her business card and I actually sent those pictures to her after the Masters.
Wow.
Because she was like, we don't have a camera. We didn't know we could bring one. So it's moments like that are really cool. I've also gotten someone a job by having their grandma like give me, their name and their number. I have gotten random contacts. There's the big oak tree that is right behind the clubhouse that you like always meet at around like noon is kind of the like unspoken rule from a golf industry standpoint. If you go there, you're able to see a bunch of celebrities. You're able to see a bunch of different, influencers and things in the golf world. And it's been really cool to be able to do that and be like, oh, I saw you at the Masters. I couldn't take a picture with you, or I could take a picture with you, depending on if it's a practice round. But you were able to have a conversation with them rather than them being like, oh, I got to get somewhere. Or like, oh, I got to check my phone or my phone's going off. So it's just a really cool experience.
That is, I mean, that's yeah, those are good. Those are good moments and good experiences as well. But I think I'll end on that. That was a great question as well. But Elizabeth, this has been always so much fun to catch up with you. And I've been wanting to get in touch with you and being able to just to catch up and just see your experience with at the Masters. I definitely wanted to talk about that. You said with your dad and your husband there. With you this time around. So that was amazing and everything too. So again, thank you for your time. Like I said, I wanted to catch you before you start traveling again. And so now you just said you named a few things heading into June and July. So maybe we'll talk again. Definitely talk again for sure. Probably before, maybe during middle of summer, I'll reach out and maybe we'll catch up once again. So again, I thank you. Can't thank you enough. And have a great summer. Safe travels everywhere you go. And like I said, I'll definitely let you know when I get that ticket. It's a definite for sure. And if you're happen to be on your busy, your busy works or busy schedule and you're there, we can link up as well. So I'll definitely be there one day, Monday or Tuesday, more likely Monday. I'll try to go be the first day to get there. So, but I will definitely let you know. And thank you again for the time.
No, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right. Well, you have a good rest of the weekend and talk soon.
You too.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.